What are your thoughts on that?
It feels good. Nothing. Kind of to be expected. I don't know if I've lost a home opener, but it felt good. Mostly because I felt like we put together more of a complete game. We had some hard practices this past week, so coming out and taking what we learned in practice and putting it out there in front of our home crowd felt really good to get a W.
Talk a little bit about this young lady here to your right. 34 points and 11 rebounds. Just how much have you kind of seen her grow in the program the last 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks that you guys have started getting some games?
Not even the same player. When she came in, we all knew she was going to be an athletic animal down there, but just what she can do for us when we need a basket or when we need a little bit of an energy boost or a rebound or whatever, it just elevates the rest of our team. And I felt like she's really listened to what Jory has said, especially these past couple of weeks, and has applied it to the game, started thinking a little bit more about Lady Hornet basketball, and obviously it's showing. So she's a big part of our team.
Tyra, just from your observations, what does it say for you guys? You had a double-digit lead in the third quarter, and for them to come back and make the game as close as it was, for you guys to kind of stick together there down the stretch. What are your thoughts on that or observations involving the way you guys were able to do that?
I'm really just proud of us because just the last game, the same thing happened, and we didn't face adversity the way that we should have. And I'm just happy that we stuck together and we made free throws when it really counted, and we iced the game. So I'm really just proud that we didn't crumble and get scared and just get real scared and just get to throwing the ball away. I'm just happy how we closed the game out.
Just the way that consistency has still kind of seemed to elude you guys the first few weeks of the season. Do you feel like part of that might just be the fact that your schedule really hasn't fallen into place yet? There's still a lot of time between games. This, I guess, could go through either one of you. Do you feel like the inconsistent, games at this point in the schedule is kind of, especially since there's so many new players and trying to figure things out, do you feel like that's kind of slowed maybe some of that growth?
No. I feel like we just need to go out there and execute the game plan every single game. It's not no inconsistency. It's just being assignment correct is what Jory would say. Just be assignment correct, and we should win our games.
All right, fire away.
Well, Jory, you've got the numbers in front of you. What are your thoughts on the way your gals played in home opener?
Obviously, offensively to get 88, I think Texas Women's is a really good team. I think they're really, really talented. They got a lot of Division I transfers. They're probably still trying to put it together, but they got players all over the place. We rebounded the ball today really well, especially in the first half. We could have done better in the second half, but that's an area of the game that we're really wanting to emphasize for our group, and I thought we did a good job there. And then obviously I thought Tyra was pretty great, throughout offensively.
How important was her play? Obviously struggled there the first few games, but the last few weeks, just her play alone has stood out as a really big difference maker for you guys.
Yeah, she's, Tyra plays so hard and she's so aggressive. She just needs to understand when that's going to work in her favor and when it's going to not. She's been in foul trouble almost every game we've played in. Tonight she was able to play 32 minutes, the most minutes I think she's played because she wasn't in foul trouble. And she's a handful one-on-one. She's just so crafty in there and athletic around the basket, and then has such a soft touch that it's really hard to guard her in there. And tonight she was just able to be out there long enough to have a really good game.
There in the third quarter, I think it was, what did you see as the biggest difference, when Texas Women's was able to kind of slice that lead slowly but surely back down into the, last, 2 or 3 minutes?
Obviously you give them credit for making shots, but we had mental mistakes. Our team right now, we had a 14-point lead, and right now we're not able to get that to 20. It goes down to 8 or 6. At Newman, we had an 8-point lead, and instead of that getting to 14, it gets back to tied. And almost each one of those times, the result, same thing with Southwestern Oklahoma in our first game. We get it back to tied, and then instead of getting up 6, we give up an 8-point run and are behind. So it's really mental things. Just mistakes, not being assignment correct, and those happen to be happening back to back to back, and they're turning into runs for the other team. So if we can get that figured out, we got a chance to get a lot better.
Is that a lot of that you still attribute to the fact that you still have a relatively young roster? Losing a couple of seniors and stuff.
Oh, sure. It's you can practice it all you want in practice, but you can't have the same kind of stress as game stress and other people playing against you. And so you just have to be in those situations. I think our team does a good job of watching it on film and learning from it. As a coach, you wish it'd be fixed overnight, but you also know that that's not realistic. And so it's going to take us a few games. It may take us the rest of the semester to really iron out some bad habits that we have, so we can have a good run in the second half.